In 2026, the United States stands on the largest pile of debt in its history, $38 trillion. The debt is growing by $50,000 every second. Logically, this country should be bankrupt. This nation's currency should lose its value. But what is the reality? When every asset around the world is shaken, people frantically buy up dollars. The more crises that strike, the stronger the dollar becomes. Is this a betrayal of economics? Or is there a great secret hidden that we don't know about? We're digging into an uncomfortable truth, how a record-breaking debt, a so-called poison, became the world's most powerful weapon. Your retirement funds, your children's tuition, everything you've saved your entire life, is on this ship called the dollar. People say, to diversify your investments. But for the other ships, the euro, the yuan, the yen, their situation is even more dire. Right now, the entire world is desperately searching for the ship that sinks the slowest. Day after day, the news warns of the dollar's demise. If this ship truly sinks, what happens to the life plans you've spent decades building? This isn't just a story about economics. It's a story about your survival. People believe the dollar's strength is derived from America's innovative corporations or its robust economy. But that's only half the truth. The real reason the dollar came to dominate the world is a secret pact made in a desert palace in 1974. Instead of gold, the soul of the dollar, the U.S., took oil, the lifeblood of modern civilization, hostage. The petrodollar system. This is the first pillar that supports the immortal empire of the dollar. This is the true face of the petrodollar system. The dollars the world pays to buy oil do not disappear. Like a giant circulatory pump, they flow back to the U.S. to buy American debt. In essence, the U.S. has opened an endless line of credit with the entire world. Other countries have no choice but to participate in this system, even while complaining. To reject this system is to cut off the very lifeblood of modern industrial society. This is the second pillar of the dollar empire, dollar recycling. However, the petrodollar alone cannot explain all of these phenomena. Here, another dollar empire exists outside the Fed's surveillance network, the eurodollar market. Trillions of dollars in shadow capital traded outside of U.S. territory. This is the dollar's massive underground economy, unrecorded in Wall Street's official ledgers. The news says that when the Fed raises interest rates, the dollar gets stronger. But a shocking truth is hidden here. The Fed is holding the steering wheel, but the real engine is running outside the car. This is the third pillar of the dollar empire, the invisible financial network. How is all of this financial and geopolitical design maintained? Trust? Promises? No. The answer is overwhelming power. The world's oceans are managed by a vast police force, known as the U.S. Navy. The products you order from Amazon, the gas for your car, all of it is transported on sea lanes, protected by the U.S. Navy. The dollar's value isn't a promise on paper. It's a reality backed by aircraft carriers and fighter jets. This is the dollar empire's final and most powerful pillar, military hegemony. The petrodollar, the eurodollar, and military power. The dollar empire, built on these three pillars, is ultimately completed by its most powerful weapon, the network effect. A world where, because everyone uses the dollar, you must use it too. This is like Facebook or the Windows operating system. Even if a better alternative emerges, changing the standard everyone already uses causes astronomical costs and chaos. The dollar is no longer just a currency, but the basic protocol of the world economy, the Internet of Finance. So, what should an individual do in the face of this massive system? Should you bet everything on gold or Bitcoin, predicting the dollar's collapse? Herein lies the most shocking twist. When a global crisis hits, the dollar doesn't weaken, it actually gets stronger. Because the final refuge for capital fleeing in terror from all over the world is the U.S. dollar. Do not try to fight this system. Instead, understand how it works and ride its current. Once you understand the rules of this giant game, your actions become surprisingly simple. Do not trust your emotions and predictions. Build a system instead. Open your brokerage app right now and set up automatic monthly transfers of a fixed amount to an S&P 500 ETF. You're buying the purest form of the U.S. market itself without any complex modifiers attached to its name. This isn't an investment. It's like paying a monthly tax to the dollar empire. However, this is a tax that comes back to your future self. More important than growing your assets is protecting your time. The final goal of investing isn't making more money. It's creating a life where you never have to think about money. Entrust your assets to the system. And in that time, read books, exercise, and spend time with your loved ones. In the face of an uncertain future, your most powerful asset is not a growing bank balance, but rather yourself, unshaken by any crisis. The floating $1 bill from the first scene reappears. But now, this bill is no longer just a piece of paper. The ink lines on its surface begin to glow, like the circuits of a complex motherboard. The portrait of George Washington becomes a 3D hologram. Countless data streams are reflected in his eyes. The U.S. dollar is no longer money. It is the operating system for the grand game of 21st century global capitalism. Whether you like it or not, we all live on this OS. And in this chaotic world, the biggest risk is not knowing the rules of the system you use every day. I hope this video becomes a small line of code that will change your life in 10 years. Because for those who are prepared, a crisis is always an opportunity. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker. The best way to predict the future is to create it. This has been Econ Unboxed.